With the NCAA tournament in town, it's currently a Carrier Dome that isn't occupied by Jim Boeheim Court. An eerie foreshadowing after last week's news that in 3 years, this could be a Carrier Dome that's not occupied by Jim Boeheim. Now, of course, the one player everyone here at the Mello Center and pretty much everyone in college basketball is feeling awfully for right now is Rakeem Christmas. The senior center had been playing some of his best basketball so far this season. Since Wednesday's news of Syracuse's self-imposed postseason ban, many began to wonder how the loss would affect the energy and effort of this season's players on the court. Now, we assumed the first time we'd be able to talk to Boeheim would have been today after the NC State game came to a close, but the university threw us a curveball. After Syracuse's loss to Cal, head coach Jim Boeheim said there was nothing he could do in a 24-hour span to make his team better. They just had to use what they had and play better. At one point in this game, a Central Michigan player told Terrell to punch him in the face. Terrell said he responded by just pointing to the scoreboard. Now, Dale, another big difference. Bay Area natives, you're going to hear something here. That's one of those tour groups going through. A day that was supposed to be filled with excitement and expectation took a somber turn here at Watkins Glen for both fans and drivers. 16 years, 16 seasons, and 16 springs of cold games in April. That's how long the Syracuse Chiefs have been waiting to play a game on a warm September night under those playoff lights. Saturday truly is a no-lose situation for Syracuse. There's no pressure to win and make a bowl game, and there's also no pressure of knocking a conference opponent out of bowl eligibility. Over to Lord Stanley's Cup now. If you're a fan of hockey, you have been very entertained through the first 2 games of this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. That is, unless you're a New York Rangers fan. So Syracuse will finish the year 3-9. It's their least amount of wins in 6 seasons. Next up for head coach Scott Schaefer is hitting that recruiting trail, which he says begins first thing Monday morning. In Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts at Alumni Stadium, Shannon Shepard, News Channel 9 Sports. In sports tonight, the season finale is leaving a sour taste in the mouths of many. It's finally here, March 7th, the day that we were able to circle on the calendar as the Oranges last, just 31 days ago when the university self-imposed a postseason ban. And while the team wasn't guaranteed a ticket to March Madness before all of this even began, they were guaranteed this, 40 more minutes to play as a team, specifically for Rakeem Christmas. Looking to put the shadow of yesterday's NCAA public infractions decision behind them, Caleb Joseph back into the starting lineup for the Orange, and things started out pretty well for Caleb. Here he hits the early triple, but they would end up being his only 3 points of the afternoon. Later in the first, a Michael Benege 3 would put the Orange up 3, and then Trevor Cooney would show that he can do the long range as well to push the lead to 8 before the Wolfpack call a timeout. But from there, NC State would regroup and goes on a 9-0 run. Abdul Malik Abu at the jumper to give the home team the 1-point edge at the break, and it got uglier to start the second. Rakeem Christmas here finishes the lay-in, but NC State goes on a 27-2 run over the course of the first 6 minutes. Ralston Turner hits back-to-back threes en route to 19 points. Michael Benege would finally stop the bleeding with a 3. He would finish with 10 points. From there, it was Tyler Roberson and Rakeem Christmas carrying the load. Roberson with a team-high 16 points. He also had 11 rebounds. And right behind him, the senior leader, Rakeem Christmas. These would be his last points in a Syracuse uniform. The lay-in to cap off 15 points and 12 rebounds. It's his 12th double-double on the year, and he subs out as his collegiate career comes to a close. Syracuse can't dig out of the hole as they fall 71-57 in their last game of the 2014-2015 season. The Syracuse football team was well aware that coming into this week, their margin for error if they wanted to make a bowl game was extremely slim, needing to win 3 of its remaining 4 contests. And visiting the Dome this afternoon was a struggling NC State team who was fighting for bowl hopes of their very own. We picked this one up in the late second quarter. NC State has already put 3 field goals on the board at this point, 15 seconds left in the half. A.J. Long hits Ben Lewis 15 yards. Lewis reaches over that pylon and crosses the plane. So the Orange trailed 9-7 at the break. We move to the third. Cuse driving down the field in a hurry here, and it's Long again with that arm. This time it's Steve Ishmael who's the target. 25 yards in the score. The Orange would go up 14-9. But later in the third, a costly error for A.J. Long. He's picked off by Farrell McKeever, and McKeever sees daylight. It's an 82-yard pick 6, and the Orange is now trailing by 3 points heading into the fourth quarter. And in that fourth quarter, the Orange are driving once again, but A.J. Long, another mistake. This one, fumbling away the ball on the Q's 35-yard line. The Wolfpack jump on it, and they would get 7 points off of this turnover. But with just over a minute remaining, Syracuse would show some signs of life. A.J. Long here connects with his cousin, Jared West. West able to get it down to the NC State 9-yard line. This drive results in a field goal, so Cuse is now down just 7. Here's your onside kick, and it actually works. Dyshawn Davis picks it up, runs it into the end zone. Everybody's excited in the Carrier Dome, but the rule is if you recover the onside kick, the ball becomes dead at that spot. So Syracuse has 4 chances in just 13 seconds, but on the second try, A.J. Long is picked off by Josh Jones, and that would seal the deal. Syracuse picks up their 6th loss of the season. 24-17 was the final. It was just announced that Chris Bosh will return to the Heat. So he says, no, LeBron, I got it, no problem. 5-year contract.
I know, all eyes on Carmelo.
Maybe this weekend, maybe he'll wait till Monday when the news cycle starts again. So we'll see.